Hi guys, it's your boy the Supreme Leader. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click the bell button after subscription. Don't forget to leave your comment at the comment section and also make sure you like or give the video some thumb up if you like this kind of content too as well. So, like I promised you, Brazilian time, 9 o'clock p.m. I'm going to be here. It's raining out here in Brasilia. And don't forget, I have I had a surgery, so that is why I'm in a glasses, sunglasses in the night, because I have to protect myself from the reflection. Um, yes, so I'm simply going to be waiting for most of my viewers. Like I said, um, this is going to be something from, yeah, Mr. Rudy is already here. I'm going to have, let me just say, 30 minutes for this hot conversation. But let's see. Uh, so we are here. Mubarak, uh, you want to ask me about asylum at the airport? You can kindly follow me on Instagram, okay, or Facebook from Africa to South America. You can leave me messages on there. I'll respond to your messages as soon as I have enough, what do you call it? I have time, I'll check it out and respond. I always respond to your messages. If you send me message, I will respond to your message. There are some questions I don't like to answer them online. It's better you follow me on my Instagram or Facebook, then you can ask me the questions. But don't forget, when you send me the messages, I can only answer them if I have free time to get online. So you shouldn't worry that you sent me message, I haven't respond to your message or something. I'm simply going to respond to your message. But you have to know um, I have active members on my PayPal and also my YouTube membership. I have some few members that always like to get in touch with me. So most of them I have to get back to them because they are my YouTube members and I cannot leave them out. I hope you understand that. All right, so let's quickly start what brought us here. Rudy, if you are in, I'm going to share the link. Then we start our conversation until the rest of our people join us. This is the link. You can click the link and also uh, join the conversation. So a whole lot of people and a whole lot of black people around the globe, each and every single black from a different country, from a different continent, has a different thing to say and also history as well. But all in all come back to Africa. All come back to Africa. Yes, Mr. Rudy, we
Here I
cannot.
am.
Now we can hear you clearly. We are still waiting for for
I
the
think
rest.
some people ran away.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe they are getting themselves prepared to come on for this particular conversation. All right. So in the afternoon, we were talking about blacks diaspora and also blacks African black people too as well.
That's right.
And Yes, that is fantastic. And and I had you from the United States and also uh, a viewer from the United Kingdom too as well. And you guys had so much, like conversation.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a pretty heated debate.
yeah, it was pretty heated debate. But what was your issue with uh, the viewer from the United Kingdom? Because he was because let me just say this. I think he has some deep experience too, because from what he was saying, he says he was born in the Caribbean, so
Hmm.
most definitely he also had what do you call it, a typical black experience too as well. Like growing up in a typical black, like real black, like because Caribbeans, we can also consider them to be having that deep lifestyle, like the African lifestyle. But then Africa is still Africa though, because we can still
Yeah.
say the Caribbeans, they still have upper hand in doing a lot of things too as well, because they have good passport. So yeah, you wanted to say something about what the
So
viewer was saying.
um,
Yeah,
I I I disagree with a lot of the things he was saying. But what was really disturbing mostly was the obvious bias um, against African Americans. I mean, he has this perception of African Americans, that we ignorant, that we don't know what we're talking about, and I think most of it stems from this perception that a lot of people have for African Americans that we don't really know what's happening out there in the world, which is not true. When you take me for instance, I'm pretty well traveled. I actually am a big fan of history, so that was my first love, history. I wanted to be a history teacher, and then my mom told me, "Oh, how much money are you gonna make teaching history? You need to do something else. You need to become a doctor." So, I'm someone who really looks at history before discussing sensitive topics like this one. So it was really unfortunate that he wasn't um, as classy as he should have been, but that's okay. There will be situations like that, but I really hope that he can get a little bit more educated on the history of African Americans. It's a very unique experience, and it's important that everyone out there understands what the black experience is in the US, and saying that African Americans should stop complaining and they should be happy for what they have. So if I ask you, why are French people moving to the US? Why are Italians coming here? They live better over there than Africans. They have a pretty good lifestyle, but they still want to come to the US. So everyone has a reason for moving. You know, one person might be just going to a place where he or she can eat 3 meals a day. Another person might be running away for political reasons, running away from political persecution. So everyone has a different story. So, um, and everyone knows what makes him happy. So it's not just about the material things, as I was saying earlier. It's also about peace of mind. Um, I don't want to get too much into my personal story, but just to put things into perspective, not long ago I quit my job. I think I told you this when we
yeah,
met in
yeah,
Brazil.
yeah. We were made in
I had a
Brazil.
very good job. I had a very good job. Um, it wasn't probably like in the top 10 paying jobs in DC, but it was a pretty good job. I was earning enough to drive a luxury car, which I still have. I live in a luxury apartment building and in a very good neighborhood. Um, I was able to travel all over the world. Um, so I still quit that job. And the primary reason why I quit that job was racism. Okay.
Okay, so
So
it's all about racism.
yeah, so there is no money in the world. There are no material possessions uh, enough in the world to justify going through some of these racist experiences. No money in the world is worth your mental health, your psychological, your your mental well-being. All right. So at the end of the day, here all people want is just to live in peace. So Africans coming here, they come for different reasons. Some of them are fearing, running away from war. Some of them are just coming for a better life. But you cannot get mad at African Americans wanting to move to Africa, uh, even though they have the basics here. Like when you have the basics, it's a good thing. But we always want more, right? Even you in Brazil, you achieve quite a lot, but you want more. Exactly. Like every young black man, you always want more. But I understand where you're coming from when you say that that you can't just move to Africa empty-handed. But I think most people who want to move to Africa, they understand that they know that they have to move with money, just like anywhere in the world. Not everyone is willing to go on an adventure. But I
Yeah,
really think that we should educate our I got a phone call. We got disconnected for a minute.
oh, it's
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. Yeah,
So it's important that we educate people who want to move to Africa. It's really important so they don't make mistakes. But I
perfect.
really think that it's important that black people are getting more interested in moving to the continent because they're bringing money to Africa. Just like immigrants brought money to the US. Not everyone is moving to the US empty-handed. If you look at the various uh, immigration waves, a lot of people move to the US with money. If the US is where it is today, is because of all these things, the country benefited from immigration. But before even immigration, you need to understand what black people did for this country. This country was built on the back of black people. I cannot say it enough. It's important that people understand this. This country was built on the back of black people. It was built on slave labor. The people who were working those farms, the cotton plantations, the coffee plantations, they were black slaves. The wealth that was created in this country was through the sweat and blood of black people. So when black people are asking for their fair share today, it's because they are owed this share. You know what I mean? It's not that give respect our lives. No, these people are here for reasons. Their ancestors, all right, were brought here. They made their sacrifices. So when he's asking these white folks to like leave us alone, all right, you already not paying us what we owed. So leave us alone.
Uh,
Let us breathe. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
the question out here is
Yeah.
Um, why would you leave something you died for just because you are going through some kind of discrimination? Because, of course, I know you've been to Africa and you've lived in some part of Africa, and you know how big, you know how big it is
Hmm.
when you talk about discrimination in Africa. It's one of the biggest problem we have in Africa, which is what discrimination.
That's why
And
I'm not ready to actually I'm ready to move to Africa right now, but it depends on the country. I think I've said it before in
yeah,
a
yeah,
different conversation.
yeah.
It depends on the country. There are places where I wouldn't be comfortable moving to, but of course Brazil is my priority. But to answer that question, people are tired. People are tired. Okay, we try to make it work with our white counterparts. We have, you know, the civil rights movements, the various you know, legislations that were passed, but it just came to a point in which it's no longer working. No, no, this living together situation, it's just not working. Um, I also realized that not everyone is willing to leave, but that doesn't mean they're happy to stay here. Personally,
Yeah,
I think the best solution for Black America is separation. So I think Black people should be given a territory here in North America, because not everyone is gonna be willing to leave and go to Africa or somewhere else. Some people are gonna want to stay here, but it doesn't mean that they have to put up with the racism. It doesn't mean that they have to accept all the injustices. If we can't get reparations, give us a plot of land, give us a big territory, just like what the Native Americans got. You know, the U.S. is really big. There are so many states here with with huge territories, empty territories, nothing, just, you know, forests and all that. So
you see,
we should get
do
some
you?
territory and do whatever we want.
But yeah, I get that. But don't you think the problem is the black people? Because I don't think the problem is it's racism. Because from what I see, okay, from what I see, in Africa, we are not even able to solve our own problems in Africa as black people. Okay, so if if someone is saying black Americans are really, like really complaining too much about this racism, and it looks like that's the only problem they have, racism. Police stop them once. Police want to see their ID card and stuff like that. That's the kind of problem they only have, and you know they don't have. They have to stop complaining. Don't you think it's something that is really fact? Because you said black people need their own space in the
Mhm.
United States. Don't you think it's going to be the same thing if they are being given that space that you're talking about? There won't be any change or any, like, they are going to be the same people, like the same whole stuff. There won't be any improvement or development. Or do you
Well,
think something can be done?
but
Because
then then we will only
just
have
a second,
ourselves to blame, right?
yeah, just a second, because Africa is a very good example. Okay, Africa is a very good example. Like the countries that were with had white people in it, like for example, Zimbabwe, they were doing great when they had white people in working for them and also living in the country, right? But after the white people left, they sacked all the white people and stuff like that. What happened? Although, like me, I think Mugabe is one of the best and also strongest leader that Africa has ever had too as well. To my opinion, though. But after that, because I think I also personally, as an African, I
Mm.
think racism shouldn't be a big deal because if you believe you can improve yourself if you are being given some portion of the United States, I think there should be a very good example, like starting some institutions for black people and stuff like that, which I haven't seen any good black institution. Like I'm just being frank. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know a whole lot of people talk about successful black stories in the United States, like Atlanta and stuff like that. People say black owned banks, black
Mhm.
owned stuffs.
Yeah.
But when you look at the whole thing, it still goes back to land on some kind of like a group of individuals owning something. But when we talk about like white people doing doing good, doing great in something, they are really doing it. It's like you don't even land in knowing who is really responsible for how good the thing is going. Like you understand what I'm saying? But when you talk about black people, it's always like that. It's so I think
Yeah, but
racism.
that's
Just a
because you're
second. Listen,
comparing.
just a second. I think racism is some kind of excuse black people we are using most of the time because there are a whole lot of group of other what do you call it skin colors who
Yeah.
are going through the worst what do you call it the worst too as well, right? For example, when you come to Brazil, there are a whole lot of Indians who feel so low. You understand, like super low. They don't simply believe in themselves and stuff like that. You understand? But
Mhm.
the thing is, Shayla Joyce, we black people should say the truth. Africa is a good example that the black man has a big problem with themselves. Okay, so this is what Sheila said. Look at what Sheila said. Sheila, her comment, you cannot escape from the comment. I know you might get some opinions out of this comment, but what she's saying is just fact. Because why am I saying we are using racism as a tool, and also we are using racism as what? As an escape. We are in a new era. We are what? In a new era. Mr. Rudy, are you going to
Mhm.
tell me that when you are traveling around, you just simply accept the fact that, oh, somebody look at you and say, you are a black guy, so it's being racist? Are you going to buy that simply like, oh, it's racist? No. You've come to Brazil, right? Many times.
Yeah.
Don't people say here there is racism?
Well, yeah, yeah,
Good. When I was with you, how was I like with the people? Just be real. Like when I was with you,
yeah. Well,
how was I
we
like?
were treated pretty well. Yeah, yeah,
Good. You
absolutely. Yeah.
understand? So I think we are in an era where majority of the times, listen, majority of the times, or plenty of the times, people even forget. They do forget about your skin color. But I think most of us black people, we like to bring that excuse in place, like
Yeah, but
you understand what I'm saying?
Supreme Leader, it depends on it. It depends on the context. It depends on the situation. Um, going back to my story again. I mean, I didn't really start experiencing um racism like straight up racism until I was an adult. Like I started experiencing it here in DC, like in Washington DC. I was working for a prestigious organization. I'm not going to say which one. Okay,
Okay.
and I have to admit, I was also kind of naive in the beginning because I'm educated. I have 2 degrees. Um, 2 degrees, one in political science, another one in international relations. So I'm well spoken, I'm well traveled. I was never one of those people who will be impressed by, a white person. You know, I will be impressed. I'm always impressed by someone for their intellect, their personality, but I was never raised to treat the white man like, oh, he's white, he's superior to me, like. But this is a problem for a lot of white people, and I didn't start understanding that until I started actually working when I graduated and I started working in the nation's capital, Washington D.C. So let me give you a few examples. Um, when you want to go for a promotion, all right,
Yeah.
you know how tough it is out here
Yeah, we,
as a
we,
black
we,
man
we
to
I
get promoted.
remember we spoke about this in the
No,
car.
so yeah, man, and this is the reality here. You know, in a normal situation, when you work hard, when you have done your homework, you expect to get rewarded, especially when you go above and beyond the call of duty, right? You
Uh,
need to be recognized for your work, just like a white person who works really well, who delivered, will get rewarded just like an Asian. But when it comes to black people, I'm telling you, we have to work 3 times harder to get 3 times less. That is the reality. And it's okay. I mean, you work for an institution that is dominated by white people. So there's also this fear that, oh, no, 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 if we can't let this guy move up. If we do, um, he's gonna become a problem. But come on, you can put up with that crap for a year or 2 years, but if you every year you keep getting rejected for promotion, you start asking yourself questions. All right, so maybe this is not the place for me. Maybe I should move to a country where my work is going to be rewarded, either in
uh,
a company or I can start my business and be my own boss. And let me
I
and let me also say this. Um,
okay.
Chronic stress, man. I'm telling you, the amount of chronic stress black people have to, put up with in the US because of things like that, the microaggressions, the discriminations. You can have all the money in the world, man, but if you're always watching your back, it's not worth it. You are more stressed than a 65-year-old villager in the middle of nowhere in Congo who eats mangoes every morning. That person is less stressed than you who drives a Mercedes or Lexus in DC.
Yeah,
So this is why
I
people want to leave the US, man. Like this
yeah,
is what I
yeah.
want you to understand.
You see, that is why I said, that is why I was saying, we
Hmm.
black people, more of us, especially the ones talking about racism. You say you haven't. You said something. You said the business is sometimes owned by the white people. You understand?
Well,
Like it's
wh-
owned by the
white
white people.
people white people don't want to talk about racism because of something called white privilege because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
benefit from it.
yeah.
Like even in my situation, I had colleagues I was really close to. They knew what was happening to me, but it was only at the very end. Hey, Rudy, yeah, man, you got screwed, man. I'm sorry. What they're doing to you is not right. Okay, well, so why you didn't say this 2 or 3 years ago? Why are you saying it now when I run out of energy? Cause,
Really,
cause, cause, cause it's
you see
so. At the end of the day, everyone's looking out for themselves,
that is why
and
I say, that is
yeah.
why I say we create excuses. We see all these things and we've been sleeping for so many years in Africa. Okay, in Africa, if you come to Africa, Ghana, for example,
Mhm.
we have tribes. You can work in a company for a very long time. If you are not from the boss tribe, forget. you won't get promotion. So it doesn't happen only in the US. Let me tell you something. You as an individual, you have to be calculative and very smart. Forget about race. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When did I came to Brazil? I came to Brazil 10 years ago. I'm doing super well than most of my old bosses. You understand what I'm saying? I never studied or I never sat in any Portuguese class, but I'm doing fine. I'm working at home during this pandemic. You saw me. I'm riding in a Mercedes. It's not because there is no racism or something. Sometimes, as an individual, you have to be very calculative. You have to know yourself. When you are somewhere and you are not growing, what you have to do is you have to change your calculations. That company won't promote you. Fine. There are thousand other companies that will promote you. Don't waste your time and be looking at something that is, let me just say, some impossible thing to make it possible.
But you also know that get so the higher you go, all right,
Yeah, yeah,
in terms of experience,
yeah,
you know, the more challenging it gets for you to get a really good job. So even in terms of securing employment, like a good job,
yeah,
you also have to take into account the racism here. It's not like in Brazil, for instance, if you, as my wife often says,
yeah,
concurso público, right?
yeah,
So civil service exam.
yeah, yeah.
Here in the U.S., it's not very common. All right, everything is through networking. Yeah, and you may know a powerful person, but if you're an outspoken person of color, nah, 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 this guy, no, this guy, if I hire him, he's going to expose me during meetings. Because you have a lot of incompetent people in positions of leadership in this country, and it's
That,
not in their interest to hire an educated black person.
you
Uh,
see, Mr. Rudy, let me tell you something. You are a very smart young man. Okay, you are
Thank
very
you, thank you. So
man.
are you. That's
When
why we get
when
along.
yeah, when we met, myself, I got to understand that there are more smarter young people like like you are very, very smart. But then let me tell you something. Sometimes you might be very smart, but sometimes because of you are too smart, there is some small things can simply also escape you too as well when you are super smart. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, if you are working for a company and the company is not allowing you to grow, like you said, it's very difficult sometimes to get the position that you want, right? And also sometimes you said in America it's about what connection. When you have that, like people, right? Okay, you can be doing the job and aiming towards what like you really want to do, because sometimes, look, if you don't look for it, you won't know who wants to give you that chance. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You might be living in Atlanta looking for a job in maybe let me just say Maryland. You might send an application that very day. You might be the one the company might be looking for. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes when you are in a certain institution and people don't know your value, you have to let me just say mentally start preparing yourself towards something bigger than what like you have to take them. Oh, you see, that is why I say black people, we have to learn to take things like like take people by surprises, but we don't do that. We are very, very relaxed, especially when you smile with us a lot. We think, oh well, no, everything is fine. Maybe in the future everything is going to be fine. But then what I'm trying to say is the US, the racism people are going through in the US, we know, we see it on TV, we see it on social networks like Facebooks and stuff like that. But black people can simply ignore that and do something extraordinary. You understand what I'm saying? But like, if you are
Like
saying,
what? Like give me an example.
an example is, like I said, those rich black men, rich black women, they should forget about the racism and build stronger institutions among the black people. Black education. Black. They shouldn't wait for any government support. If they can do something, they should just start it. Why people do it all the time?
Well, yeah, that I agree with.
Yeah, like
That's
for example,
definitely something
In
I
South
agree.
Africa, when God forbid, if something should happen, the small white population over there, they are not weak. They are never weak at all. You understand what I'm saying? They are not weak because of what? They always make sure they use what they have to sustain themselves because they know they are like they don't even when you talk about racism and stuff, they don't even want to talk about it because their focus is not even on that. They don't want you to even distract them with that word racism because they go through it. They most of the time they get killed. The white families. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying here is black people we in the United States, my problem with them is they allow this agenda to be able to take over their potentials because they are using the agenda to take your potential away. When they bring it, you forget about what you can do and focus on Black Lives Matter. Yes, you have to forget. It doesn't matter today, but tomorrow it will matter. Fight for the right cause. Make sure you build a very strong institution. Black people build the United States, like you said. The first United States president was John Henson, a black person. You understand what I'm saying? So it is high time. You have to forget about this racism thing and try and do what? Build stronger institutions. Don't wait for the government to come in and give you supplies.
Oh, I certainly don't wait on anything from the
Yeah,
government.
you understand what I'm saying?
Um,
Like the rich, even
but
the rich black people, like Oprah Winfield, those top rich black people, when they want to do something, you understand? Like they try to create that thing, like, oh, we are peaceful people, we are blah blah blah. So let's consult this. Let's do. You don't consult. White people, they
well,
don't
I
do that.
think one of the
Do
reasons,
something. I'm
and
telling you,
I
when white
mean,
people want to do something beneficial, they sit down among themselves. They start it.
well,
By the
here's
time,
the here,
yeah,
but here's the situation, Supreme Leader. In terms of building strong institution, for the black community, it's the problem is some of these wealthy individuals you mentioned, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z is another one.
yeah,
There are others like Diddy.
yeah,
They have the money, but you also have to understand, like, they made this money in a system that's dominated by our
you're
white
right.
fellow citizens.
Let,
But anyway,
let me make
but
something clear.
and another thing is, let
I
me
don't want to forget what I'm about to say.
yeah.
The white people make the money from the black system. Don't forget, they make the money from Africa. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
They use
By
it to
exploiting
dominate.
Africans. Yeah.
So when you tell me the money they are making through the wise system, even this is a wise, listen, this is a wise way to even what? Use that strategy to help the rest of the black people to overcome. But black people normally don't do that. When they
Well,
get that chair and they sit in that rich chair, forget it. I'm telling you, my brother,
I
it's
I
very painful.
I think that I think that we reached um situation in which black people need to stop following the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I think there's enough money in Black America to start.
They should start
Ex-
their own thing. Period.
exactly.
This is what I'm talking about. Like you start a strong if you don't want to stand for presidential whatever candidate as a presidential candidate, you can start a small community. Every single drop of
Because
water,
we've been following the Democratic Party for
yeah, a single
decades.
drop of water make a mighty ocean. That is how they
Mhm.
start. You start very small and then you build it up. But you see, me, I understand many don't want to start it because they are scared that they within themselves they are going to use another black person to murder the one who is you
Well,
know
yeah.
what I'm talking about. This is happening all the time in Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So let me just say we black people are using racism as a tool to make things look like we are being stepped on so much. Look, it is we are just doing it. Because US, you are talking about America. When you talk about America, any part of the world, the first thing people think about is black people. Like when you picture America, you picture black. They created the image for America. So you cannot tell me because racism, you are going to run from something that you built. Like really, you built something. You have to use that thing to even better maybe the motherland that you want to run to. You are going back to the motherland. Is zero over there. You are running from hero to zero. Meanwhile, people want to run from hero to zero, zero to hero.
Well,
You are
okay.
running
So
from great. Listen, you are running
to
from
to to spice up the conversation a little bit,
yeah,
and this is something that's probably gonna generate a lot of controversy, but whatever.
yeah, for sure.
I don't think there's enough solidarity between African Americans and Africans on the continent, um, and that could be also one of the reasons why the situation here isn't improving. Why Africans who are in positions of power are not doing enough to help
Good.
their African American brothers. And
Yes,
and
they're
and
not.
and this is a legitimate question because if you look at the history of the anti-colonial movement in Africa, people like Malcolm X went to Ghana. You know that, right? He went to Ghana twice.
Yes, I
Yeah,
heard.
he met with Lumumba. He met with Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
So a lot of civil rights leaders in the U.S., even Jesse Jackson, like they sympathize um, with Africa. A lot of them supported Nelson Mandela. But what happened after these countries got gained independence? They forgot about what African Americans did for them. Now they all worried about making money, pleasing the West and all that. So what's happening in the U.S. with the black community? Like it's really not one of their priorities, and it's okay. It shouldn't be, but a little bit of solidarity can go a long way.
Yeah, because the truth that shall set you free. Look, you are living from being a hero to zero. That one, come on, how do you define that one? From a frying pan, you left a frying pan and you are going into the fire. How are you going to solve? You are in a frying pan. You didn't manage to suspend yourself and you are jumping into the fire.
But
Where you
what if you go to the frying pan prepared? What's
are
wrong with that?
that is what I'm saying. You are on a frying pan. On a frying pan, there is a way. You can at least
Okay, yeah,
adjust.
yeah, going to the fire. No, what if you go to the fire with you know sufficient money? Is that what's wrong with that?
That is what I said. I kept saying that because I don't want people to get me wrong. When you are going to Africa, make sure you go with money because you cannot go to Africa empty Okay, you cannot go into Africa empty and say, "Oh, I'm going to look for a job to start doing to make money and build something for myself." It's not possible. Only, let me just say, by chance or lucky. But it is possible to get a lot of Africans. Listen, the possibility is high. Not only Africans, but migrants from all over the world. They go to United States or Europe with nothing and make something. You understand? Like zero. They get there, they seek asylum, refugee status, they get the document, they start working, they start making something. But go to Africa and tell me you are going there with nothing, you are going to seek asylum and start something and see what happens. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, what I'm trying to say out here is, I'm telling people, if you want to go to Africa, it's okay to go to Africa. But when you say you are going to relocate to Africa, please, my brother, my sister, go with what? With money. Money is what? In Africa, if you don't have money, I want to use the African accent, so don't mind me. If you want to go to Africa, you don't have money, then you are going to be in a very big problem, my brother and my sister. Let me see what Zola Benjamin said. He said, "Do you think Africans government should apologize for their involvement in slavery to the diaspora? And what did they teach you in Ghana education system about history?" Let me tell you something. Even the Ghana education system, the education system about history was written by Britain. I don't buy that. I know history from my own tribes, the old people, my grandmother, my great grandmother and grandfather. I knew history from them. The government, the African government, don't own, listen, don't own apolo, like they don't have to apologize to any slavery involvement. What they have to apologize is what? They have to apologize to their people. Someone like me, they have to apologize to me. Because why do they have to apologize to me? Because the resources and everything that they are listen, they are giving it to the West and not doing anything for me. That is the apology they have to do, and do what? And make sure they get everything back in place so that I can come back to Africa and benefit from what we have in Africa. Slavery, when you want to apologize for slavery, then you have to go and call, you have to go back to Sir Charles McCarthy, then those involved in the bond of 1844. Those people, you have to follow them and look for them to go and apologize, because those are the people who who did what happened. They sold those Ya Asantua, those people, because of tribalism. They end up shipping a lot of Africans. They sold them as slavery. The white man didn't go to Africa and then let me just say, hijack the black people and take them to Europe, and also take them to the Caribbeans and the North Americans as slaves. They didn't come and pick them up and then bring them to Brazil as slaves. Is the black people, the Africans, the kings and queens. Listen, this is history that I'm telling you. Queens and kings in Africa from different tribes, they are the ones who sold, what do you call it? Who sold the black Americans to the Americans, and the black Europeans to Europeans, and the black Brazilians to Brazilians. You understand what I'm saying? So there is no apology. When you are talking about this, you have to forget about government. Government is supposed to apologize to us, because we are now the new era. And still now the slavery is going on in a different way. You understand? So right now, if there is any other apology, the government is supposed to apologize to we, the Africans who are diaspora. You understand what I'm saying? This is the truth. So if you want to know the truth about slavery, how it started through the kings and queens in Africa. In Ghana, the Ashanti Empire was one of the strongest empire, and also the Northern Region Empire. The Northerners were also one of the strongest. But what happened is they end up capturing each other and then selling them to the Portuguese and the English. So this is how they started. We started getting slaves in the United States, in Europe, and those Latin American countries. The why do you know what is a spirit, traditional spirit stuffs? In Africa, it works. It doesn't. It's not a joke.
But
Not
why can't Africa use it to develop itself?
good. It works. That is why I'm telling you that we have witches and wizards. Normally, every day when I'm talking, I say, "What? We have witches and wizards as leaders." What is the definition of witches and wizards? They want to kill you. So why should they use their witchcraft and wizard stuff to help you to become successful? They won't do it. They will kill you. The kings and queens. This is what happened to Americans, Black Americans. I'm telling you, I don't owe you any apology. The apology you have to go and look for the kings and queens. Those ones have to. The government don't owe you any apology. That's what you have to understand. The kings and queens and chiefs, they owe you those apologies because those are the people who sold Africans to the white people to take them to work. Yes, this is the history. With me, if you are talking about history, we don't read those history books written by Britain for Ghana Education Service. Ghana Education Service, even their books, who they produce, if they are being produced by the British government. They tell you what you want to know, but the reality is our great grandmothers and fathers, they told us the truth and we know what happened. So when you talk about this slavery thing, forget about slavery. Africa did this. The kings and queens did it. You understand what I'm saying? The queens and queens, they did it. They sold black people to the Westerners, and today we have these black people in the United States, in the United Kingdom, and also in the Latin Americas. The white people didn't come with guns and then start capturing black people like that. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to understand this thing too. Black people, we have big problem. So when you are going to talk about racism, we know racism in America exists. But please don't use, there is no excuse. Don't use that excuse to tell us that because of the racism, you can build a very strong institution. You have a lot of rich black folks, a lot of successful rich black folks. They should forget the government. They should build good institution for the black people. You have the money, you know your people are going through racism, they are going through this. Why don't you build something that will stop them from being harassed? You build your own security, you build your own schools, you build your own community, you get your own technologies. China is doing it alone.
So I think we can talk a little bit more about Black unity, because I think this is what you're trying to get into right now. But you know, this Black
This
unity
topic is there for anybody. If you want to talk about unity, we can talk it. And if you don't agree with me, I can invite you to come and disagree with me. I'm not that kind, because there are some YouTubers when they are talking about some topic, they won't allow anybody to bring another thing. You understand? So me, I don't do that. When you want to talk about something, you don't agree with
so
me. I will
Supreme
leave the
Leader,
link.
why do you think
Yeah.
there is not enough unity among Black people? What do you think? What's the problem?
The problem is huge.
Very.
We have a huge problem. Look, rule number one, the first problem we have as black people, and the reason why our unity is going to be impossible. There is nothing like unity should start in Africa. It can never be possible in Africa. We have a lot of tribes. And also, we have a lot of selfish leaders. They are not ready for unity. Because if they do the unity, their great grandchildren won't be able to be successful to control the country, or you understand, to live the kind of lifestyle they had. So there won't be unity. Forget about that one. Unity in Africa is not possible. Whoever doesn't believe it, you can join me and then tell me how possible would can the unity be? Because even in Ghana alone, Ghana is one of the smallest country in Africa. We have 54 tribes in Ghana. So you can tell me if there is possibility, and look for some Ghanaian and ask him how is the lifestyle over there. Okay, if unity should start, it should start from the Black Americans because they speak one language, which is English. If you are speaking one language and you are not able to unite, what makes you think that you can go to a continent where they speak thousands of languages and unite them?
All
It is
right.
a very common sense, my brother. A very common
So
sense.
speaking of unity problems here in the US, um, it's not easy to unite when you don't know your history. Because let me explain to you a little bit more.
I'm
The
listening.
So what's really particular about the African American population is that they only started learning about their history recently. I'm talking about like the late 20th century, or back in the 60s. There weren't that many intellectuals. You know, you could count them on one hand, and a lot of them were assassinated. As soon as someone emerged, boom, he would get killed. And I'm going to save this uh, part of the convo for later when more people show up. But when you don't know your roots, when you don't know your history, it's really hard to know where you're going. You need to know where you come from in order to know where you are and where you want to go.
Look,
So when
Mr.
people
Rudy,
say
you
that
are right, but
African
let me make
Americans are
something
lost,
clear.
this is what people are referring to.
Let me make something clear out here. The white people in the United States, they are what? They are united. And don't forget, they are all not from the Great Britain. Most of the white people in the United States, most of them are from Ireland, Germany, Denmark, Sweden,
Yeah, correct.
all these places. They are from there, but they are united. So there is no excuse, my brother. Look, this excuse
Oh,
thing,
so
me,
they
I
they're
don't buy it.
united, but they know their roots, right?
Forget about the root, my
Well,
brother. If the
how
root,
can you
if
say
they want
forget
the
about
root,
your roots? Even you
look,
know your roots,
let
man.
me tell
Come
you
on.
something about white people. White people, they are the kind of people, you know why? They are very smart. And sometimes I do even ask, what kind of human beings are they? Because look, if they want, look at Brazil.
They're nothing special, my
Brazil,
friend.
yeah, they are not. But let me just make something clear out there. Look at Brazil. They say you are going to speak Portuguese, whether you are from Italy, you are from Belgium, you are from everywhere. We say when you come here, you speak Portuguese. Forget about that. I'm from Italy. I'm from. You understand what I'm saying? So Black Americans are even lucky they speak one language, which is what the American slang, which they created it themselves. You understand what I'm saying? This alone is even beautiful. You can, if you cannot be united, you speak one language, you cannot unite. You are trying to convince me. Listen, oh, listen. You are trying to convince me, the African guy who is from Africa, with a lot of languages over there, with tribalism problems. Okay, because of tribalism, I'm not even able to live in Africa. I left Africa to another country. You are coming to try and convince me and tell me that we can unite. I think I will just say good luck to them.
The
If they
bet,
want to unite,
the
good
bet,
luck.
the
Me, I'm
one of
Rudy.
the ways to start this crusade towards unity is education. There are a lot of educated African Americans, you know, especially women. I
Yeah,
think they represent the single largest group in the U.S.
yeah.
of individuals who have a higher education degree. But we talking about educating people in the inner cities, people in the impoverished communities,
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of resources, and unfortunately, a lot of our rich brothers and sisters are either not willing or they just haven't made the move towards sacrificing a little bit of their wealth to ensure that there is enough education in the black population. Because like I said, this is a movement. This unity problem, like it's a big movement, and it's not something that can be just spontaneous. You have to sustain it over a long period of time. And
Man,
you cannot count on the educational system set up by the state governments or the federal government. It has to come from private donations. It has to come
that
from
is what
leaders.
I'm saying. The white people are far gone. Most of the institutions that you see, even which institutions that collaborate with the government, are owned by private white groups. So if black people cannot do this, what do you, like seriously? It's not going to work. Forget it. But me, what I can say is good luck. People are living on hope. Don't forget, if you live on hope, you are going to die starving. You understand what I'm saying? If you live on hope, you are going to die starving. Yes. Amelia Penalopa. She said black man. And
With the
Beatrice
picture with
Osman.
the
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you were talking.
no, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So me, what I'm saying is, me, for example, when today Africa say, "Oh, all black people, let's do this," me, I'll do it too. But let me tell you, me, I know my people. Me here, I know my people. My people won't do it. The only few will do it. Majority won't do it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if you are talking about unity, and in the United States where black people are speaking one language, they cannot speak, they cannot be united. How can they unite in Africa where they have bunch of language? You've been there, you've lived there, and maybe you might be having some few families too over there. So most definitely, you might have some experience of what I'm
But
talking about.
real unity doesn't really exist, regardless of race. Even among white people, they're not united. Look
They
what's
are not.
happening over
Listen,
here.
listen, let me just tell you something. They are not united, but they are doing well. You understand what I'm saying?
They're doing
Black
well
people,
because they benefited from the system for a very long time. You know,
yes, this is what I'm talking about. If black people had been able to do this kind of thing, most definitely I'll be in Africa by now on YouTube. I won't be on this channel though. I might be watching some other channels and maybe enjoying some fufu or some banku. You understand, with some Coca-Cola
well,
or maybe some
you
palm.
can have fufu in Brazil, man. I had fufu in Sao
Yeah,
Paulo.
yeah, yeah. I know, but there is no black unity, and we are suffering in Africa. So I'm here. You understand? For example, this one here, if it was in Africa, we have a special day, we call it our day. That is when I will get the chance to drink it. So the fact, So when you are in the US, you can get cheeseburger, hamburger, and all that you can eat for like regardless of the racism, you at least get some chicken, some fried good chicken, and eat. So please,
But I really think that slavery has a lot to do with everything that went wrong with black people. Slavery and colonialism. Both. And you can't deny that. You cannot deny that.
oh, you
Because
don't understand. I don't deny any of those things. But what I'm saying is, uh, we should just forget about complaining about this. What do
no,
you
no,
call
no,
it?
no. I'm not
Racism, and then
complaining anymore. I'm trying
yeah,
to I'm
you
I'm
understand.
I'm among those who are willing to start making moves.
Because
You
I
know?
am willing just like you. My platform. I'm talking more about this because I want people to do what to change that mindset. They should stop that thinking about racism with so much excuses. Come on, let's build something. Bill Gates is building a lot of things day in day out. You understand what I'm saying? Like seriously, we don't even have our own technology. Like,
All right.
come
So
on, it's
yeah,
just
man,
headache, my brother.
it's not that simple. It's not that simple, bro. Listen, if you have someone who's really good with technology or whatever,
Yes, you had what
or
this
but you need a
comment.
credit.
Look at this comment.
You need a credit from the bank because not everyone is gonna get help from a billionaire, for his startup. You know how difficult it is
No,
for some of
forget
us to
those.
get a loan from the bank.
Relax. Those owned banks are owned by who? White people. We don't have it. We don't have it. Even
Yeah,
when
we
we
don't
don't
have it.
need it.
That's true.
Because we can have it, but we don't want to have it. Because when one have it, he wants to own a lot of yachts. He wants to be able to say, Mr. Rudy, go and buy me Coca-Cola. He wants to send you all the time. He wants you to sit somewhere and say, hey, that guy is a rich guy. You
So
understand?
give me the name of someone who has a lot of money who should start a bank that will start giving out loans to young
Oh,
black
a
and
lot of,
Africans.
I won't go far. Jay-Z can do it. PDD can do that. We have a lot of black people who are rich. What's her name? Oprah Winfrey can do that. There are a lot. When you come to Africa, we have some people like Dongote. We have a lot, but they won't do it. They won't do it. Then,
Why do you think they won't do it?
because they are witches and wizards. What are you talking about? They are witches and wizards. You have witches and
Maybe
wizards.
because they don't think,
How can you prosper?
maybe because they think they will be sabotaged. You know?
You don't get me. We are witches and wizards. That's the thing. But you don't forget we have witches and wizards, so it's not possible. The white
Someone like Dangote, all right? You know Dangote,
I just mentioned his name. Like don't go
right?
okay. You
Exactly.
understand what I'm saying? That guy is crazy rich. You
So
understand?
if Dangote is not doing anything for Africans,
Yes.
why should
So
Oprah Winfrey do
why you
anything?
understand? That is why I'm telling you there is no possibility. You just answer the question yourself. We have witches and wizards as rich black people, and you are going to tell me that it's possible for us to be successful. It's not possible. Please, they won't invest. White man can just give $1 billion and tell you that go to the sea and bring me some eggshell. Do you think black man can just give you 1 billion and tell you go to the sea and bring me eggshell? He's going to think about Gucci shirts. He's going to think about a lot of mansions. But
Well,
please.
I made a commitment to start buying more black products. You know, so if I can find some designer clothing made by black entrepreneurs, that's where I'm going to put my money. Because yeah, it's about time. I'm serious, man. It's about time to start creating more wealth in the black community. You're not gonna see me buying Gucci or Louis Vuitton. None of that. I'm not interested in that anymore. The only luxury items I'm gonna keep buying from white people are cars, because we black folks don't make cars. Well, I
You
know
don't
in
make
Nigeria
cars.
they make cars, but they're trash. Well,
Oh,
so
please. Let me tell you something. You cannot risk your life. Car, you have to get a good car. You understand?
exactly.
Like driving a good car so that you don't crash yourself. You
Yeah.
understand? So uh, to get yourself a good car, it shouldn't be a problem. You understand? But then we have rich black people, witches and wizards. We call them rich. They're not ready to do that. Do you know how many rich white people always want to invest into their fellow poor white people? You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But we won't do it. Look at Africa, there are things we have. We have a lot of things. We can simply get in touch. Oh, okay, look at the rich black people we have in the United States of Britain. Let's go there. Let's talk to them. Let's bring them. Let's say, okay, look, we have resources. What can you people do? Do you know somebody who is good? Like, bring idea, but they won't do it because they are witches and wizards. They want you to die. Oh, please. Me, I don't believe this one of black people. Yes. So, guys, it's your boy, the
Prodigy is gonna
Supreme.
join us in a little bit. I saw him send a
Yes,
message
but I think, but I think I have
because he
to.
thought he thought it was 8 p.m.
No, I
Because
actually
because
have to.
we moved back an hour here in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
daylight
because
saving.
I left the charger inside the bedroom and I have only, let me just say, 11 minutes left. So I cannot wait that much. But hopefully, we are going to plan another topic and then come back again. Guys, don't forget to support the Supreme Leader. I'll bring you guys some update about what do you call it? Booking and also reserving hotels here in Brazil too as well. Everything you want to know, don't forget to join me, join the membership too as well. A whole lot of people say they don't see the membership, but people have to try and then check it out. I think I have my PayPal over there. If you want me to travel around and film some other things also, you can simply do that by the what do you call it? By the PayPal tool as well. My battery is low, guys. I'm going to leave you here. Rudy, enjoy your evening and
Tomorrow is
also get
election day,
yourself.
man. So if you don't see me again, man, it means something bad happened, man. Because we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
No, no.
Now we'll
But
we'll we'll be
anyway, enjoy
fine.
your evening and make sure you have a cheeseburger with a Coca-Cola, please, a big chicken on top of it. So, guys, I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share the channel, and leave your comment. Give the video some thumb up if you like this kind of content. Bye bye to each and every one of you. Bye bye, Mr. Roddy.
Bye. Take care.